Hi, my name is Beth Gallagher, and Val, you touched on that a little bit, but I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about the use of proceeds and what kind of positive impact people can expect to be part of. If this is about enhancing our transition towards a clean energy economy, how can we be sure this is helping, and what kind of either reporting back or understanding of the use of proceeds is there?
So under the green bond principles, there's a very wide array of environmental activities that could be included and called a green bond. And I think there's certainly a large chunk of green bonds that are focused in the low carbon space, so in the sort of climate positive space. But that's not the only activity. It's not just clean energy and energy efficiency. I think you also can see a variety of other environmental benefits that, perhaps feel very impactful to, people in their daily lives, such as air pollution or waste or water. And so because the market for green bonds is new, I do think that there's extra communication that needs to happen from the issuer to the investor and vice versa. I think there's some intangibles that also go into looking at a green bond and trying to decide whether it's the right shade of green for you as an investor. Because different investors are going to have different elements that are important to them and different things that they really want to emphasize in their portfolios. So, looking at the issuer and their reputation in the environmental space is important. Looking at what kind of capacity do you think they have. Looking at the actual activities, because there is a big reporting requirement that happens when you issue a green bond. So they initially put out sort of a list of general areas that they as an issuer plan to use the proceeds for, and then they'll do the annual reporting, or more often than that, to say how the money actually was spent. I think this is an example of, we're going to see movement in this space. We're certainly seeing a lot of really credible third-party organizations moving in to help define what is green, or what a green bond should and shouldn't include. As a green bond different than a climate bond, which is different than an SRI bond? We generally encourage sort of conservatism and prudence in helping to define what is and isn't green, because we want for as many different issuers as possible to get out there with these green bonds and start to sort of, incentivize that kind of behavior. But I also think, and I whenever I am speaking with ICCR members, I always come back to the value of engagement, something that you all are really, really good at, and the power of engagement with the issuers of these green bonds, and really asking them the hard questions about what they're planning to use the use of proceeds for, to the extent that you have access to ask those questions. I think that kind of engagement not only helps to hold all of us accountable, but helps to incentivize even more of the activity that you as investors want to see.